Hey everybody, this is Mary. I'm here on Patrick's channel doing a guest review of some of my action figures. I'm Mary, Patrick's wife. I get into this to some degree too. I always help Patrick find his, but he helped me find these. I knew that the Walking Dead action figures existed for the TV show and for the comics. Today I have the Series 1 for the TV series. And I was gonna kind of go over these and show you the cool aspects. I love these. When I saw them in the store, I knew I had to have them. And the more I looked at them, I was like, oh yeah, they do cool things. I have to have these. But if you haven't seen the show, I highly recommend it. The second season has just concluded. I have the first season here on Blu-ray. It was a really, really good series. Maybe that's just me. I've always been kind of fascinated with any kind of apocalyptic scenario, but zombie apocalypse, how much better can you get than that? I think I'll start with the first figure that I got, which is the Zombie Walker. For obvious reasons, this was very intriguing to me, the idea of a walking action figure. I got this particular action figure at a Hastings store. He retailed for $17.99, I believe, which is pretty darn high for a action figure. But these are put out by McFarland Toys, and they're typically very detailed. McFarland always does a lot of really detailed stuff. This one in particular, for whatever reason, came in deluxe packaging compared to the others. The other three, as you can see here, were the smaller packaging, which I actually prefer. And we picked those up, Patrick picked those up for me at Walmart on clearance of all things. I was surprised that Walmart carried them at all, but picked those up on clearance at Walmart for like $9.99, something like that. I'll go ahead and open up the first figure, the Zombie Walker. As you can see, his packaging is pretty big. There's a lot of air in there. There's really nothing going on behind the big the logo for the show. On the back you can see all the different figures that come in the series. I have all of those here. Zombie Walker comes with wind-up walking action. Pretty nice packaging all over. I like it. I dig it. It's kind of minimalistic except for the bulky size. I like how they have a nice little walking action. But as you can see in the package, he actually has these weird little stands on his feet to enable him to walk, supposedly. He's a really nice looking figure. I think if you've watched the show, you will have seen this particular Zombie Walker featured in the opening credits. He's the guy with the purple shirt and tie. I mean, he takes a good long stare at the camera, so he's pretty recognizable from the opening credits. I'm going to pop him out. And he has some problems. He's probably the most disappointing of the series. He's good to look at. He stands just fine. He stands really well. But after that, he doesn't do what he's supposed to do. We have shoulder articulation and some mechanical leg articulation. Thanks, Fiona. Fiona likes zombies too. Oh, thank you, Fiona. Yep. Oh, Catzilla. Move, Fiona. Crazy girl. Okay, here we go. But, you can see he's got some really cool eyes. I really like his eyes. They're the bloodshot kind of thing going on, which was, you know, part of that good long stare that he took into the camera. His feet, as you can imagine for a zombie, are all wonky because he's undead. So in order to get him to be able to walk properly, they've attached these clear plastic like stabilizers that don't really work. It's unfortunate. I'm going to wind him up for you and we can watch him struggle. I mean, maybe that's all he was supposed to do, is just kind of rock back and forth just to get him animated. But I was really hoping that he would be able to like take some steps, but he does not. And this is attracting my cats. They think this is awesome. he doesn't have a whole lot of articulation, and when he does, like his coat, his suit coat doesn't line up, which I'm not really sure how they could have gotten around that. I don't know if there was anything they really could have done. It almost looks like they were going to have some articulation here at the elbow, but that does not move. It is a fixed joint, but it looks like they were going to at one point. Maybe the mold, they started with it, but then they didn't continue. I'm not sure what's up with that. But overall, he's a good, fun desk accessory, and he's a novelty that I really do enjoy. It's kind of fun to watch him rock back and forth and imagine that he's walking, but he doesn't actually walk. So that is Zombie Walker. Next, I think I'll go to Rick. I'll go in and review a person. Rick is pretty much the main character, the leader of the group in the show. And this, as you can see, the packaging is much more minimal. Like I said, I prefer that because there's no point in having so much plastic. Rick comes with walkie-talkie, baseball bat, 2 revolvers, grenade, and rifle. He's got quite a lot of stuff going on with him, which is kind of cool. All of these, except for probably the Walker, who, you know, just has his own thing going on, come with a lot of stuff. We have guest appearances. They think this is awesome. Rick, to me, is probably the least... His face is the least like his actual character. There's 2 zombies, Daryl and Rick, in this series. And Daryl is much, much more recognizable as the actual actor than Rick is. I think the detail on all his items are really good. Like, his revolver has a lot of detail in the handle. You can even see the kind of like the hatching. Oh my goodness. Our cats are giving everyone a really nice show. Did you get that? Oh no. I apologize for my obscene kitty cats. Oh Lord. This will get ratings just based on that and the stupidity of that. As you can see, his walkie-talkie has a lot of good, it's painted really well. And the grenade, his grenade looks like it's shaped a little odd to me, but hey, it's there. He's got this other revolver, which is not the one that's in his hand, is not quite as nice as this one up here. And his big gun, you can tell I don't know a lot about guns. His big gun is kind of basic painted, but it still looks really nice. Baseball bat, pretty basic, but really cool that he came with that. And let's pop him out of here and take a look. He has, let's see, swivel wrists. His elbow joints do work. He has, you can see the little partitioned little gear type thing to move his shoulders. One thing about these action figures is they obviously have a particular pose in mind for them. So he's kind of doing the whole cup my hand around my gun thing, and his hips are kind of at an angle, so, and his back is arched, so there's not a whole lot that you can do with him other than putting him in the same position. As you can see, once again, with his articulation, he has it, but it's a bit clumsy, because once you start moving him around, he starts basically falling apart. I really like the dirty boots. The dirty boots look good. It's got a gun holster, got some other stuff back here that doesn't function. Some good paint details. The Sheriff's Department badge is done really, really well, as you can see. But like I said, his face is not quite right. I think it's really hard. The character, the guy that plays Rick, is kind of a slender man, and this guy just doesn't really have much of a neck. Maybe it's the position that they have him in, but this guy looks a little chunkier than Rick actually is, so that's a little off-putting, simply because to me that's one of that actor's characteristics, is that he's just kind of a slender guy, and this guy's a little too solid. Yeah, show Rick some love. Okay, now I'm going to move on to the second zombie in the series. I think he is really kind of my favorite. I didn't know he existed until I actually saw them talking about him on The Talking Dead, which comes on after the show. This is the zombie biter. Comes with biting action. And this particular zombie, I'm going to try to get the cat off of the table real quick. Oh my gosh, you're a heavy cat. So I can take advantage of my table space here. This particular zombie only comes with one extra item, and that is this chunk of deer meat. Sure, yeah, I guess putting like human flesh is probably not like the coolest thing to put on a toy box, but we're just gonna pretend that this is deer meat. I'm sure they eat the deers too. But he is super detailed. Looks like he might be in a more advanced stage of decomposition than the first zombie. He has got the creepiest eyes I have ever seen on any action figure. I'm not sure if you can get up on that really well, but the eyes are recessed. You can still see a little bit of the iris and they're kind of frosted over a little bit. But he has the creepiest eyes I've ever seen on any action figure. They are very haunting and very, they're very realistic. I thought that was really, really creepy about this guy in particular. A lot of blood on this fella. Once again, he's, you know, kind of set into a particular position. So his the articulation is there. Doesn't do you a whole lot of good because you're gonna get kind of a weird, the clothes are going to kind of get weird, but his feet are really done pretty well. You can make him stand, but you have to really kind of work on it. He's not the most stable. But like I said, the cool thing about this guy, biting action. So but that's really cool. You have to admit that's really, really cool. So he can just, you know, hang around, grab his deer meat, walk around, have a little snack. He's good to go. But I think that jaw action and those crazy eyes makes this guy my favorite. So, and we will go on to the last figure in the series, which is Daryl Dixon. Daryl is the, for lack of a better word, redneck, outdoorsy guy that really kind of takes on a lot of the a big role in protecting the group in the show. Daryl comes with a crossbow, which he uses most frequently in the show. He comes with an axe and some kind of pickaxe type thing. Because they really emphasize in the show not to use guns as much as possible, because using guns just draws attention to the group. The sound brings the walkers and or zombies to them. And the other odd thing that Daryl comes with is this little array of dead squirrels. So never before have you ever seen a group of action figures that come with things like a big chunk of meat and a string up of dead squirrels. And the reason for this is that Daryl's kind of like the hunter, and he goes out and he's kind of the loner of the group too. He stays off to the side, has his own campfire, and hunts for his own food and things like that. So these 7 squirrels turned into dinner eventually for Daryl here. But Daryl looks a great deal like the actor that plays him. He's really stuck in that package. But once again, the best thing about Daryl has probably got to be his face sculpt looks a lot like the actor. They got the profile down pretty well. Something about this actor and the way he holds his jaw, they've managed to really do a good job in articulating that to the action figure. He is also sort of pre-posed, so trying to pose him in any other way just kind of makes it awkward. Not a lot, other than the things he comes with that are pretty odd. His action figure, his face is really detailed, but the rest of him is pretty plain, but that's how he is. He has a knife that is removable from its sheath. It is on his belt. Let's see if I can get it to come out. It's removable, which is pretty cool. I'm trying to get it back down in there. Once again, you can see his articulation in particular right here is a little odd. Looks like they may not have worked out all of the logistics of wrinkles in his pants when it came to movability. So right there you got some issues, but other than that, he's pretty solid. He has a weird joint right here. I don't think I've ever seen that in any figure before, where he has some rotation mid bicep, which is really, really odd, and I'm not really sure what the point of that was, why they couldn't do that all right here. It kind of just complicates his arms further, because you got a lot of joints and visual things that go with the joints that kind of detract. So I feel like that's just one more detraction, but it's an interesting choice for articulation. Shoes, pretty cool. Overall, he's a pretty decent character. I think what I like most about him is the fact that he comes with all these really cool gadgets. The crossbow, it's already got some arrows in there, which look a lot like the arrows that my dad would have had, down to the colors of the little, I don't know what you call them, the little flares on the end. That's totally the right color for hunting arrows. And his array of other tools, I think those are pretty cool. But like I said, the best thing about him is his hair and his face really look like the guy. So overall, I've been really impressed with all of these. I definitely, if you're a Walking Dead fan, I definitely suggest checking out all of these. If you're lucky enough to be able to find them on clearance at a Walmart like we did, that would be the way to go for sure. I think $17.99 is a bit steep for any of these, but $10 is about right considering the detail and the novelty of them. So if you get a chance, check them out, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks.